How to stand out from the crowd when starting your own bookkeeping business from home. So, today inside this video, we're just going to talk about three and a half different ways you can use to kind of differentiate yourself from the crowd. We're going to talk about what are the pros and cons of each, and then we're also going to talk about some examples of how you can do it for yourself. So, who am I? My name is Bryce Tubbs. So, when I got started with my accounting and bookkeeping firm in 2015, I was really struggling to stand out. Specifically, I didn't really understand how to do any of the three and a half things we're going to be talking about today. So I was always like walking around with like a stack of flyers, doing like cold calling. And I would rather have people say, like, well, how are you different from this other person? Or why should I pay you this when this person's asking this? And it was very, very hard to really stand out because it just felt like every single person knew an accountant, knew a CPA, knew a bookkeeper, and I was the new person on the block and just felt like kind of an uphill battle. So, why do I make these videos? I make these videos to help you go and have a more clear view of what it actually takes to have success in this business. Now, it took me a total of 14 months to get to about 15 grand a month in sales for like bookkeeping and CFO work. But for you guys and for the people we mentor in our mentorship program, it can take a lot less time. It can be a lot faster if you just know what you're doing. So these videos kind of help you get a little bit further ahead, really attack. And again, there are three main ways to differentiate yourself as a small boutique bookkeeping or accounting firm. It's important to note that, like, while there are potentially four ways to stand out, I advise against the fourth option, which we'll talk about like in a few minutes. Also, before we go further, if you want some help growing your business and you want to be able to go and achieve a life of freedom without having to like really go through a lot of the struggles that cause most people to fail, go ahead and click the link inside the description, either above or below the video, to book a call with myself to see if we can help you inside our program. So, part one, I'm going to start with the thing that you should never compete based off of because in my opinion, it's just not really good when you're starting out. So, first thing is lowering prices. It's very tempting, right? Offering services at a lower cost to attract more clients. That's the thought process. Most people are like, okay, if I just lower my price, I'll get more clients. However, this is a strategy I strongly advise against, especially people who are like really small or just getting started. The reason why is because like when you compete on price, you might end up attracting clients who value cost over quality, which can lead to a high churn rate and low profit margins. When I say like churn rate, that is the number of people that will start working with you, then all of a sudden just kind of like drop out. Now, the reason why it's important is because if they only care about the lowest price, as soon as someone comes to the lowest price with a lower price than you, they jump ship. And it's actually the opposition of what we're trying to do. We're trying to go and get a couple of clients that will really value us, like us, see the value, and they pay an above average price point, and that causes them to want to stick with us for much longer. Now, moreover, if you're wanting to replace your day job with your business, you need clients who will provide a substantial and consistent revenue stream, right? Now, again, competing based on price will lead to a race to the bottom where no one's going to win. Not even the client wins this, right? Because they end up just getting someone that either has no confidence or just isn't very good and just doesn't really know what they're doing, just like beginners in a lot of cases. Now, key strategies for aspiring accountants to successfully transition from employment to running the business. Now, if you want to start really growing and if you really want to be able to like kind of like go from your day job to having this business be full time, number one, targeting high value clients. When starting your business, especially in accounting or financial services, it's strategic to aim for high price point clients with significant profit margins. Now, the primary goal is usually to generate enough income to leave your job. Now, targeting only small clients is going to like really slow down that process because you need to get a million more clients in order to reach the goal. Now, the thing that most people understand is the the number of clients that you're going to get does not increase just because you're raising your price. Oftentimes, most people will have the marketing chops to go and get, one, two, three, four, five clients in a month. So whether that client's paying 150 or that client's paying you $5,000, you're not just going to magically be able to go and get 1,000 clients a month just because you have a low price point. Most people don't even know what your price point is when they see your business, someone that's actually talking to you. So, food for thought. Cool pricing strategy. So, one thing that people do is called submarine pricing. So basically, it's only advisable if your business is already well established, generating anywhere between like 1 to like $1.5 million per year annually. Now, this strategy is often used to increase market share rather than initial business growth. So basically what that means, and just like a little bit different way of saying it is low prices are okay if your business is already making a lot of money. and you want to attract more clients because at that point you're going to be getting a lot of leads through like referrals, client leads, and you're generally going to have a lot more that you can invest into ads. Now, that also means that you can afford to not have the cash flow right out the gate. But if you're just starting out and you need prices to ensure that you cover your basic costs, then low pricing like that is just not going to make a lot of sense. Now, if you're new in the business, just a few clients, your goal should be significantly increase what you earn each month by each new client, right? So you're trying to hit like 10,000, 15, or even $20,000 a month. Don't just complete on low prices. Use them to cleverly like really grow the business and just be very strategic with it. Again, do not compete on price. The only time that you can do low pricing should be strategic and use potentially as a loss leader to cross-sell other services. So what does that mean when I say like a loss leader? So if you look at most established like CPA firms like website, you might see like monthly bookkeeping, they'd be like at $100 or like 120 or 100 or like $200 a month, regardless of the transactional volume or the amount of time that it takes to actually complete the work. Now they do this not necessarily to make money on the bookkeeping, but they do it to hook and retain clients for more profitable services like tax planning, which will bring in a lot more revenue. Because like per tax plan, they can charge like $5,000 to $20,000 from a single tax plan. So yeah, they can give a little bit of revenue on the bookkeeping side because they don't really care about that. They know that if they just keep someone long enough, they're going to actually get, an extra $5,000 to $20,000 a year for that person. So it's really just making sure they don't like fall out of the business and like run into someone else. That's also another reason why we advise like partnering with different people and partnering with CPA firms can be okay. There's not that many CPA firms out there. It's like 54,000, so you can do with like a lot of different types of firms. But that's a different video. We're still talking about how to stand out. Number two, the second way that you can actually go and stand out is that you can be good at what you do. So you can offer services that go beyond the basics. So for example, consider like providing CFO services or specialized tax plan. Now these offerings not only add more value to your clients, but they also allow you to add a premium. The reason why is because you can add whatever you're charging for bookkeeping plus your auxiliary services. So if you're already charging really well for bookkeeping, and then you go and add an auxiliary service on top of it, you can basically double or even triple the price that you're charging that client, and it'll get more value out of it. For example, one of my students works with like medical spas. Now, she doesn't just manage their books, she advises on like optimal times for revenue recognition and expenditure on advertising. And that really it enhances their profitability and makes it very easy for them to know like when should they advertise versus like when should they not advertise. Now, it not only allows her to be able to charge a fee on top of the bookkeeping, but it allows it allows her really to create a win-win situation because the better she gets at helping them like recognize revenue and like telling them when to advertise, the more money they make, and the longer they want to work with them, the more they're willing to pay her. Now, another thing that you can do is you can differentiate by superior services. So, boom, 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 we've already kind of talked about this. Um, Another reason why it's actually cool is because those services are tied to money directly. So CFO as well as tax planning are tied to revenue. Tax planning is like how they really like lower their tax burden, right? So they can see there's a tangible amount of money they just saved by working with you. Same thing with CFO. That's generally helping like with growth, forecasting, budgeting, planning, right? Those can actually help them go and have a more accurate view of what it actually takes to go and reach the business. So they can show based on working with you and doing the stuff that you told them to do, they got a big lift inside of the revenue. So now they're really happy. Now they really like you. Another boom, 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 boom. Next thing is diverse. Huh, interesting. So I think I like had a typo when I like wrote this. So actually gonna move on to step number three. Another thing too is going back to step two is diversification through your service offering. So broadening the scope of services providing. So, but you can add like business valuation, insurance, CFO, tax prep, tax planning. Those can significantly enhance your business profile and profitability because you start becoming more of like an all-in-one shop. Now, even if you don't provide every single services, there's still more ways you can think about helping and you can think about growing. Like you can offer like virtual assistant services. I had one student where she was really new to accounting and bookkeeping. So she offered bookkeeping, then she offered like virtual assistant services, then she even like was managing like some of their like social media marketing, like a bunch of like low-level employees that they had. And it was just like checking in from time to time, just looking over the work. She had like some background in like social media marketing. So she was able to go and actually charge even more money on top of what she was already charging. I think one of the clients that she was working with was like paying her like 3 grand a month as a new bookkeeper, and she wasn't working that many hours with them. So it doesn't necessarily have to be just accounting and bookkeeping services. A million different services you can offer as well. And the more service you can like give someone, the more value they have because I feel like you're just helping them with so many different areas. And the more areas that you can help, the more indispensable you can actually become. Cool. Next thing, how can you differentiate yourself based on speed? Okay, so the next thing we differentiate is speed. Now, another powerful way is to be faster and more efficient than your competitors. So let's say, for example, you specialize in cleanup projects. If you can predict exactly when the project will be finished and meet that deadline consistently, you provide immense value and reliability through efficiency. Now, for example, a different kind of industry, right, that specializes in speed is fast food. For example, like McDonald's. Now, I know, some people might not like McDonald's, right? I'm not necessarily saying like the food is good or bad or healthy or unhealthy. I don't really care about that in this case, right? But they obsess over every second in service delivery. They know that speed can be the dividing factor between a customer choosing them or a competitor across the street, right? You ever see like a line wrapped around the building? You're probably not going to go there, right? So you're going to go with the one that's faster, especially if you feel they're very similar, if not identical, right? So like McDonald's will have like a Burger King or like a Wendy's very close by. So if that line's wrapped around like Burger King, oh, I'm not going to Burger King. I'm going to go to McDonald's, right? Because they're both unhealthy. Sometimes, like some people say, they taste different. I don't really go there enough to know if they taste different or which one tastes better. Comment down below if you know which one tastes the best to you. But yeah, but your firm can actually adopt a similar focus on speed, especially when it comes to responding to inquiries and completing projects. So in any competitive business environment, being fast in the competition makes you stand out because clients feel happy and they feel like you keep promises. So if you can accurately predict how long something is going to take for you to complete, and you either do it faster or you do it right on the dot, they're like, oh, wow, promise is kept. And it causes them to want to do another promise to do. It causes them to want to work with you again. So the more accurate you can do this, the easier it is for you to keep getting clients to like you and want to stay with you longer. So one example is like one of our students has mastered the art of speed in her bookkeeping business. Now, she excels at predicting exactly when a cleanup project will be finished, giving her a unique edge, right? Because when business owners ask how fast can you get it done, she doesn't just give a vague answer like her competitors who might say, well, it depends on when you give me the work. Instead, she provides a specific date detailing what she needs to start and how long it will take once she has gotten everything. This prediction and scheduling helps her not only to charge higher prices, but also attract more clients who value quick and efficient service, right? Because think about it, she can go and get clients that have more of a time deadline than other people can, right? Because she knows, okay, so let's say someone has to go and get a loan from an apartment building and they're really in a rush. If it's going to take you 3 years to go and complete it, but it'll take her 3 weeks, and she knows it's taking her 3 weeks, and she can maybe even do it in 2 weeks, that person's going to go with her every single time, even if the price is more expensive. Now, if you don't know how to predict the speed, that's okay. You don't have to start off there. You can build your way up to that, okay? You don't have to be perfect when you're starting out. You just got to be in the game. Now, impact on speed on customer retention. Remember how we're going back to our McDonald's example. Despite any opinions of their food, they're really focused on reducing service time. One of the original owner, I believe it was Ray Kroc or whatever, right? But he was always focused on how can we like move like the grill in different place, how can we move the sink in different place, how can we make an accurate path from the person that goes here, they turn half an inch, they turn half an inch, they turn half an inch, the burger's done, it's out the window, and we're moving the cars as fast as possible. Another example of this inside of your business is really understanding a common frustration that some people have, which is how long does it take to respond to an inquiry? And oftentimes, if you take too long, you will actually lose out on the opportunity to someone who's faster. A good example. So I learned the importance of quick responses early. I was helping my mom start her accounting business, and after we missed a call from a potential client, it took us too long to return the call and we lost the lead. This taught me the critical nature of speed to lead and how quickly respond to potential clients. So some companies track and prioritize rapid responses so intensely that they might actually contact a lead like multiple times in the first 24 hours that the person's like put in their information. And I've even seen people like fire staff members who don't meet these like response times. Like there was one of the mastermind people that I was in, like mastermind with them. Guy was doing like $35 million per year. Every single time that someone filled out a form like to ask a question or like an inquiry about like how they can help, his people would they have like within 5 minutes, and there's like three or four people waiting in the wings saying, "Oh, you claimed it first? Okay, I'll give you 30 minutes. If that person is not talked to or you didn't call, I'm taking them." And they were in attack mode 24/7. Now, I'm not saying that you have to be in attack mode and you have to go within 3 minutes and call the leads. That would be helpful if you could get that fast, but I'm not saying that. Remember, it's about being in the game and striving to be better and just working a little bit more effectively. You don't have to call them. You could text them. You could email them. Just respond. Just try and do your best to get there as fast as possible. Do not take 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, 6 days to go and do that. You need to go and like move forward quickly. Next, remember, speed in business is not just about being fast, it's about being efficient and responsive in a way that meets the customer expectations and beats the competition. Whether it's through precise project timelines or swift lead responses, incorporating speed into your business strategy can significantly impact the growth and customer satisfaction. Segment 4, embracing your uniqueness. Okay, the next way to stand out is by embracing how you are different, your uniqueness. This is about branding, okay? So your values, beliefs, and your unique story of your business journey. It's about making a connection with your potential clients on a personal level. For example, always share about like, why did you start your business? What challenges did you face and like how did you overcome them? This personal touch not only makes your business relatable, excuse me, but it also builds trust. People buy from businesses they trust and feel a connection with. So share your beliefs, even if it means occasionally polarizing your audience. Now, polarizing just means like pushing people away. Okay. It's all about attracting the right clients. And attracting the right client often involves repelling away people who are not a good fit. Here's a clear and more structured version of this, right? So the power of being different through branding. So being different is crucial, and one effective way to do this is through like branding. Now, branding is not just about logos and colors. It involves sharing your unique story, values, beliefs, and opinions. Now, these elements will help transform and build a connection with your potential clients by showing them who you are, not just what you offer. So, a couple different ways. Number one, sharing your story. Your journey to starting your business, key part of your brand, right? Talk about like what were you doing beforehand? What motivated you to make the change? Why did you even choose this business model, right? You could have done eBay, e-commerce, you could have done a lawn mowing company, you could have started a restaurant. Like, why did you choose accounting and bookkeeping? And why is it important for you to like actually succeed in this? Like sharing these personal details can make your business very relatable and inspiring to other people. Number two, expressing your beliefs. So beliefs can range from like your personal ethics to cultural or religious views. Initially, I hesitated to share a lot of like my beliefs in like different videos and just writing online. I was just because I didn't want to like alienate certain people because I didn't really know who I actually wanted to work with, right? However, I've learned it's actually beneficial to be a little bit more clear about your beliefs and as it attracts the right kind of clients. And those who are like, share and respect your values, create a stronger, more loyal customer base, right? Because I think the key aspect of this video we've been talking about, it's not just standing out, it's also how to retain a client, like keep them like stay with you for a lot longer. That's what our business model is based off of. It's based off getting the right people and then just working them for as long as you possibly can. Number three, upholding your values. So values are the backbone of your company's culture and operations. They could be about your commitment to speed, attention to detail, or customer service. Now, these values, when communicated clearly, help your prospect understand like what to expect from working with you. Now, they're not looking to make a transaction when they really connect with this. They want to invest in a relationship that will align with their own company values. Okay. So beliefs is slightly different than values. So beliefs is kind of like more on the personal level. Values kind of like what your company values. Now, when you're a solopreneur and like you're the only person in your company, they can be one and the same. But this is just an example. Next, client relationship and retention. So maintaining a client is just as important as getting the client. For a business relationship to last, it must be built on shared values and mutual respect. This can mean the difference between a client staying for like 6 months to a year versus staying for 25 years. Okay. Next thing is cost effectiveness and client acquisition. Now, considering the cost, um, I'm going to skip this part. I wrote it in, but I'm going to skip this part about cost effective client acquisition because it's not really that important to like the conversation we're having. I was going to go on a side tangent and just kind of talk about that, but not really that important. Okay. Next thing is communicating your opinions. Okay. So your opinions about business actually matter. Like how should business be conducted? What's the type of businesses you prefer to work with? Also, like that's also part of your branding. Sharing your insights and theories help establish you as an authority and attracts clients who admire your approach to and your expertise, right? Because sometimes what happens, like if you don't have any content, you don't really share your opinions. No one knows really what you know. So you just assume like, oh, maybe this person doesn't know that much, or maybe this person does know, right? You're not really in control of that. Part of branding is writing the narrative of who you are and what you know and like how you can help people out. So by communicating your opinions, you're forming that brand over time and you're controlling the narrative that I used to hate when people would say like the narrative. When I was doing a lot more volunteer work for this it was like a tech startup. They'd always come in like the narrative. I was like, oh my gosh, that's just a fancy word for someone that doesn't do anything. When they talk about the narrative. Oh man. Good times, good times. You know, I mean, it's funny how fast time flies when you're in business, you know? It's like it seems like just yesterday we got started. Now it's like we're almost 10 years in the game. Yeah. I don't know. You know, it's cool. It's cool. I helped a lot of people out, worked with a lot of people, made some good friends. Yeah, it's been rewarding. But it all starts with communicating your values, communicating your opinions, and really sharing your story. Next is content creation, so you can express your brand through various mediums, so written, video, or audio. Now, while video might reach a wider audience more easily, written content appeals to a different demographic and can deeply engage those who take the time to read it. Now, producing thoughtful, informative content in your preferred format can significantly boost your credibility and attract clients. Now, ideally, you'd have a mix of all of them. So you'd have like an audio podcast, you'd be able to do like videos and do like written stuff. Now, when you're getting started, you probably don't have a lot of time to do that. So it's like, you know, you do what you can, you like utilize some of the marketing that we talk about in this YouTube channel or inside of our program. But really over time, like there's gonna come a point to where like you have time to like to make written posts. Like maybe you write like once a week about like what you kind of learn from your clients or what's some new industry knowledge, right? And you become like a thought leader. Think about it like this, like if you ever look at like some like the main like people like in today that most people know, right? Like Ray Dalio, for example, he owns this giant hedge firm, right? He only works with like super wealthy people, like top 1%, not even like billionaire. You have to have like I think it's like ten billion dollars minimum to work with him, right? And he writes a weekly newsletter. I can't remember if it's weekly or monthly, but there's like some form of written thing where he just talks about his expertise, where things are going, where he sees the market, what are some stuff he's learned, and people watch that and listen to that. If that guy has time to do that, you will have time to do that when you start reaching six figures in your business, and that's going to be a very critical pillar inside of you being able to go and like really carve out a niche and hold that spot in the niche and get people who really want to work with you. That's when you start getting like people wanting to work with you within like 5 minutes of like talking to you on the phone. And the consultation call becomes like irrelevant at that point. Awesome. Next thing, to recap, don't lower your prices just to compete. Instead, focus on either being the best, being the fastest, or embracing your unique qualities. These strategies will not only help you attract higher quality clients, but they'll also set you up for long-term success. Now, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this discussion and want more tips on growing your business, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the bell icon so you never miss an update. Also, for personalized advice, check out the link inside the description to book a one-on-one call with me to see if we can help you inside of our program. Okay? So until next time, keep striving, make your business better, and have a great day. Also, and one other thing, if you want some help and you're tired of trying things on your own, or maybe you're thinking about starting, but you just don't know exactly what you don't know that could cause you to fail, either way, if you want help, click the link inside the description, book the call, see if I can help you. Hopefully, you have a great rest of your day. And just to recap, 3 ways. Number one is be cheap. Don't do that. Number two is be better. Number three is be faster. Number four, be different. Okay? Hopefully, have a good rest of your day. Take it easy. Talk to you soon.